What if I told you that you can generate leads without making people go into your website? It can all be done on Facebook by using instant forms. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what instant forms are, and you will know every little option about them so you can make the best instant form for your business. Before we get into the details, let me show you a quick video that is created by Facebook so you can know exactly what the instant form looks like. I know that you might be wondering if instant forms are suitable for your business. Here is how to know. If your business is offering a high ticket service and you also need leads, then instant forms are perfect for you. I have been working together with interior design studios, architects and solar panel installers, and all of them have gotten great results when we used instant forms. Right, so first of all, we need to have a leads campaign here. Then we need to have an ad set that has the conversion location selected as instant forms. And then once we go to the ad level, we will see a new option inside of the setup and it will be right here. The destination will be instant form. Now we have two different options that we can pick from here. We can use a template or we can create a whole different new form. Let's start with the template so you can get a taste of what we have as options. First, we have one template, which is to capture basic customer information. This is really the most basic instant form that you can have. Once people click on the form, they will just be able to fill out this information, and actually they wouldn't even fill it out. It will be automatic based on their Facebook profile, so they won't really have to do anything. That's why it's called preview information. Then we have the privacy policy that you would need to add for your business. And then the third page would be a thank you page. So this is the most basic one, and it's just about capturing basic customer information. Then we have the second kind of variation of templates, and this is including a question. So you get the first screen that has a question here and people can select yes or no. Then on the second page is the previewed information, just like we already mentioned. Then we have the privacy policy. And then we have two different pages, end page for leads and end page for non-leads. We'll get into why we have two different thank you screens in a bit. Then we can use this one, and this is first we have a custom questions. We have two of those. We can select one of these options here. Then we go into the preview information, then we have the privacy, and then we have a message for leads. But now you see this little screen here, it says unlocked, this download is yours to keep. This means that at the end of the form, once people have submitted their information, they will get a free file that we have added inside the form. So we will get into that as well. And this is the media, as I said, this is the file that they can preview. And we also have one more option, which is the high intent customers. Here we still have a question that they answer. We have the preview information. We have the privacy, but we also have one section here, which is to review your information. That's what it means, high intent customers. Because we have them fill out this information, but it's automatic, as I said. Once we get here, they have to check out this information and confirm that this is their information. This ensures that we are only going to be getting actual information of people and we're not going to be getting some fake data. And then we have also the thank you page. So these are some of the most common templates that we can have, but let's create one form from scratch. We click here on create a form, and we have these three options first. So first of all, we have more volume, higher intent, and rich creative. More volume is the most basic one, and that's the one that I always recommend to start with. Then we have higher intent. This is the one where you also get a review screen, just like we already saw on the templates. And then you have rich creative. Now, with rich creative, what you're getting is a lot more details that you can add at the greeting page or the first page here. You can add a headline, an overview, you can add different benefits related to your business, you can build up your story about how it works, different kinds of products that you have, you can add also social proof, incentives. This looks amazing when you first take a look at it, but then you have to think about the overall marketing strategy that you have and the overall ads that you're running. I believe that all this information, such as how it works, product, social proof, etc., all this should be added to ads that were previously built on the marketing funnel. You shouldn't add all this information right here on this form because it will become way too big. You're asking for people to first review all this information and then finally they submit their contact details and then you can contact them. It becomes way too much. Instead, we should be separating these actions. First, all of this, how it works, etc. This should be done on previous ads. And then once we reach this ad, which is about showing interest in your service, then we have to make it as simple as possible. So I really recommend that you don't use the rich creative option here. So let's go with the more volume one. On the more volume one, when you go into the intro section here, we have these two options for the background image. We can either use the image from our ad or we can use a totally different image that we upload. We also have the recommended image size that we need to make sure we adhere to. Then we have the greeting here and we can enable that one. So for the greeting, instead of just going immediately into the preview information, we can have this screen here with the introduction. We can type a little headline here, welcome to the form. And then we can also have a description, which could be a paragraph or it could be a list as well, based on what we would like to achieve. Now, I really think that you should add as little information as possible here. We don't really want to scare people away with all this different information. They've already reached this point. All we need to do right now is get their contact details as fast as possible. And of course, make sure that they're the right lead, but we'll get into that right now. So let's say that we'll have this little greeting here. And now we jump into the questions. And now here is where you can actually be qualifying leads. There might be hundreds of different leads that are filling out this form, but you can qualify them on this level before you even contact them. So here we have the custom questions and we can add a different kind of question. We have multiple choice question, short answer, conditional, appointment request, and slider. So let's go over all of these. We have the multiple choice one, which is you just add a question and then you can add different kinds of answers that people can select. Then we have the short answer, which is just a question and they just provide you with a short answer to that question. Then we have the conditional one. And now the conditional one is where things get a little bit more interesting. When you have a conditional question here, we can make sure we have a criteria and a different process for each person that fills out the form. Now, instead of using this one here, the conditional option here, what you need to click on is this one, the conditional logic here. Now, when we have these questions here, on top of adding the different kinds of answers, let's say for the multiple choice that people can do, we can also select the logic. The logic is the following. So if they answer this one, they would get one of these options. So let's say we want them to go to a different kind of question. Let's say if they answer option A, we would want them to go to the second question. But let's say that they answer option B, and if they answer option B, maybe we think that they wouldn't be a good fit for our service. That's why we can just close the form. People don't give you that information and they see an end page for non-leads. So they wouldn't get the usual thank you page, they would just get a different thank you page and we wouldn't even get their contact details because we don't think they're a fit for our service. We can also do a different one. We can have them go into the submit form. So that would mean that they get the end page, which we'll be creating right now in a bit. But through this kind of logic, you can ultimately be filtering out leads who don't fit your service. Other kinds of questions here. We have appointment requests. You can have people appoint or book a meeting with you, but I really think that instead of having it through Facebook, it would be better to just use a different platform for the booking itself. The most commonly used one is called Calendly, so I really suggest that you come here, create a calendar here, and just use that one instead. So going back, we have one more, and this is the store locator. This will just help out people find out the location for your store. You can do that if you're running a store, but since I'm only talking right now about service businesses, I don't think that this is a good option for you to have. So these are the different kinds of questions that we have. You can have the conditional logic or not. And then we have the preview questions here. So for the preview questions, these are pretty much the contact details, and the commonly used ones are email, full name, and zip code. Zip code, I don't really think you need to use this one, but we also have other kinds of categories. So in contact fields, you can ask for the phone number, street address, city, state, etc. I think the most important one is the phone number. I really believe in calling leads immediately after they show interest in your service. Then you can also have, the user information, but this one is pretty clear. Demographic questions, you can ask these, although some people wouldn't really be okay with giving these, so proceed with caution. Work information, so job title, this could be interesting for some kind of businesses, work phone number, email, company name, etc. And national ID number, if that would be something that you would need, although I can't really think of a business that would need that. Then going down here, we got a note here, by the way, by Facebook that if you add too many questions, then this will affect the lead quantity. But of course, that's normal. The more questions that there are, the more people would drop off the form if they see that they just don't have the time to fill out all these different questions. And this is a whole different topic about instant forms and leads and basically generating leads. The more questions we have and the longer the form is, the more we have to engage people and the more we have to get people who are actually serious. But on the other side, there might be people who just don't have the time right now. Even though they might be our ideal customer, they just don't have the time to fill out all these different questions, and then you just lose them as a lead. So my advice always is to test. Test with one question first, see what kind of leads you're getting. Then test with 3 different questions and then check how many leads you're getting and what kind of leads you're getting. And then you can make the decision for yourself based on the results and based on also the budget that you're spending for each lead. So that's it about the questions. This is pretty much the most important part of the instant form. So make sure you check these out, think about the different questions that you're going to add, make them simple, make them clear, and then proceed with the next screen, which is the privacy policy. This is very straightforward. You just add a link to your privacy policy on your website. You can change up the link text. And if you also want to make a custom disclaimer, you can do that here. Maybe you can add the terms and conditions as well, if that's something that you think people would need. And then the ending, this is the thank you page that we mentioned. This would be the main thank you page when people have submitted the form, and if you don't have any kind of conditions, this will always be the final page. So you have the headline here, thanks, you're all set. Of course, you can do something else, you can change up the description, and then you have 3 different actions here. The first one is to go to website. You can add a link here about this button here, and the call to action, you can also change it what it says. Or you could also have view file. As we already saw on the template, you can add media and then people can preview it inside of the form. And then you can also have call business. So they will just have the call button here, and the moment they click it, especially if they're on their phone, they would call you immediately. And last but not least, you also have some settings about the forms here. First, the form configuration, the language. Now, if your language is one of these and you're going to be marketing to people who do know this language, then I really suggest that you use this language. And the sharing option here, we have restricted and open. For the restricted option, that means that only people who have seen this ad can really access the form. But then we also have the open option, which is that your ad can be shared and then anyone can submit the form. So that really depends on you. I really believe that the open option is better, just because it doesn't really matter if someone shares your form. I mean, if let's say that I see this ad, I'm not really ready for your service right now, but I have a friend or a relative that is ready for your service, and then I'll just share the ad so they can fill out the form. So I really think that you can leave it open. Then we have the field names. Now for the field names, we'll get into that in a little bit, but this is how it would look like when you export files. once you get all these different leads that they have filled out this form, you can be exporting a CSV with all the little details that they have submitted. So here you're basically naming all the different columns inside the CSV. And this will help you be more organized when you start exporting the CSV or when you integrate it into your CRM. And then we have tracking parameters here. You can also add these if you're a little bit more advanced and you want to make sure that you're tracking what's coming from Facebook, and then you can separate them based on different forms and different kinds of campaigns, etc. But this is for a little bit more advanced. And that's it about the form. We have it here as a preview, and then we just click on create form, and there we go, we have the form ready. We can also save it as a draft, of course. So let me show you now what happens when people do fill out the form. We have created the form. See here, this is one example ad that we have been running at the start of the year. We see this one here. People click on it, they fill out the form, and then they become one of our leads. So once they do become a lead, you have to go to the Facebook Ads Manager, you have to go into the campaign, you have to go to the ad set, and then on the results, you see on Facebook leads. That means that people who have filled out this form, and this is the amount of people who have filled out the form. So what you need to do is click on this. You can select the date range for when you want to be downloading different leads, and then you click on download and you get a CSV file with all the information. I can't really show you further because after all, these are contact details of real people, so it could be a little bit illegal, so let's not do that, but you get how it goes. Now you can do it like this, which is a pretty manual way, or you could also integrate with a CRM. The CRM that we are using is Go High Level, and the integration is pretty easy. You just need to connect your Facebook account, basically log into your Facebook account and map out the different fields of the form inside Go High Level, and it's pretty easy. But I'm sure there are also other different tools that you can integrate with. Most of the CRMs out there should be able to make an integration with Facebook so that this is avoided, so that you don't have to do manual exports every single day. There is one more way you could be reviewing your instant forms, and that is through the Meta Business Suite here. When you enter it, you can go to all tools here, and then one of the options is the instant forms right here. And when you enter it, you see all the different forms that you have. You see the draft forms, and as I said, this is also the CRM setup. See, this is the lead connector. This is coming from Go High Level, but you can also be setting up different kinds of CRMs, as I mentioned. So when you come here, you can also be creating the form from here. That's also an option. Instead of creating it through the ad in the Facebook Ads Manager, you can do it from here by just clicking on Create Form. And you can also be downloading leads from here. And that's it about instant forms. Now all that's left for you is to create your own instant form, create an ad, and make sure that people fill it out so they can become your lead. And if you have any questions about instant forms, or you're wondering how you can even create all these different leads, campaigns, ad sets, ads, etc., then leave questions below. Or you could also watch my full guide on how to build a Facebook ad setup for a small service business. Make sure you watch this one as well. And if you have any questions, I am available. Talk to you in the next one.